Hello, YouTube. Thought I'd bring you back to the garden. We have been busy. The wife has been seriously busy. I can't take a whole lot of credit. Did want to show you something. I haven't wanted to do a video on this yet. I want to see how good it was going to do. I noticed this. This is a potato plant, and the wife actually thought I planted a potato in here. I did not. That's her soil mixing bucket that, she puts all of her scrap soil in that we recompost and do things like that with. And she puts this in here. Apparently, when I was cutting the potatoes up to plant in February, apparently one got in here. I watched it and kept an eye on it to see what it was actually going to do. I figured it wasn't going to do anything. Now, if there's potatoes in there, I'll be amazed. But the plant looks really good. It's inside the greenhouse. All I've done is throw some water to it about every 8 to 10 days, a little bit of water. We'll see what happens. But that just goes to show, guys, that this was an accident. It was not on purpose. Um, I don't know if I threw a small piece in there, maybe it's compost or what have you, but it is truly huge. Plus, I've got two more coming up in my compost pile that were not planted in my compost pile, so I'm having to dig around that to, just facilitate getting compost out without hurting anything that might be under it. So anyway, I wanted to bring you out here. The wife is doing what we call phase gardening. And what that means is that she does her starts, and as they get up, she puts those in the ground when they get a certain size. Then she follows them with another set of plants. So when one plant is maturing, you'll have another one that's just coming into producing. And that works really good. We don't do that with the onions or the potatoes, but the tomatoes, cucumbers, pole beans, things of that nature she does. And you can see here, the onions are still got a long way to go, but they're coming along okay. They're doing good. That one in that hole over there didn't do so hot, but I've got backups over there on the other side of the garage. And we are getting tomatoes. And we've got tons of blooms. You can see the smaller ones coming on there. And every plant has done really good. And she's amended the soil with our compost. And like I say, if you're using chicken manure or even store-bought, you need to make sure it doesn't smell like ammonia. You don't want that in your garden because that is going to burn your roots. It's very strong. You don't want that. But you can see here, these are called the Homestead variety. They get about 2 inches big, but they're doing really good. Got cucumbers, smaller set of cucumbers started over here. They were started after our bigger plant. You can see those. I'm going to take you down there and show you those in a minute. But those were started first. Then she came back and she started these. And then lastly, started these smaller two here. They're not stunted. They were not planted at the same time. These were last planted about 2 weeks ago. And you can see that all these blossoms and blooms. See, there's a tiny cucumber right there. So when I told you that if you have a couple of cucumber plants, depending on how much you want, you're going to get a lot off of one plant. If you see all the yellow blooms on there, that's going to be a cucumber. And so we've got the pole beans going here, and she just started some more of those smaller ones. They're down here. Oh no, right there. If you can see the smaller ones over here, they'll be coming up next. So they'll replenish what dies off earlier, and so you kind of get two harvests out of it. But the tomato plants were the same way. These tomato plants here, she just put in the other day. So when you see these here reach maturity and stop producing, a lot of fruit, those will be coming into their prime and they will start producing a lot. So it's kind of like having, the two harvest thing going on. And that way it helps us when we're canning, which we're going to be doing a lot of canning videos because we are going to have a lot of potatoes, a lot of tomatoes. We're going to be doing a lot of freeze drying, things like that. So that kind of helps space out and time out for us so we can do those things and have time to address all of it. Right here we got the elephant garlic. You've seen that video. These things get huge. So I'm hoping, by October, November, these will be ready. I'm going to bring you along when we pull them out because that's going to be exciting to me to see. We've got 2 watermelon plants. I think these are sugar bush. Don't quote me. I believe that's what they are. They're round, small. They're really sweet. They're really good. Now, if you look here, this is the cucumbers that we started first. And I told you, everywhere you have a yellow flower, 90% of that is going to turn into a cucumber. And that's what's happening here. She loves to pickle cucumbers and put them up. We do a lot of that. So she's going to have more than a plenty because you pick them and the plant still keeps producing. Right there's a prime example of one. Yep, right there. And all this is, the soil has not been, it's not been crazily looked after. We put our compost amendments in and water and just looking after it like that. And it's doing fine. And we're starting to see cucumbers already. And they'll be full. This whole thing will be full of cucumbers. And that's why I was telling you, if you just got a small place to grow, if you like cucumbers, don't take a huge area to grow cucumbers. If you look right here, she just planted more cucumbers today. They look a little wilted, but they'll perk up tomorrow when she waters them. They were watered today, so we don't want to drown them. The cabbage is looking good. I don't know if you can see, but we got a lot of cabbage. That'll be freeze dried and put up. So we're going to have plenty of cabbage to do. One thing she's grown a lot of and already clipped a lot is dillweed. And all of that there is dill. This has been cut down now 4 times. And she's keeping it in a bag so we can freeze dry that. And then she'll use that for spices. And won't have to worry about buying any dillweed or anything like that. See, we have that. Now over here, when I was telling you again, like the cucumbers, zucchini and squash, we do not plant a lot of. Reason being is because it is so prolific, you won't be able to give the stuff away. Look right here, this one plant here has just started. We've got 1, 2, I don't know, 3. There's number 4 right there, 5. And this plant just is getting started. The zucchini, same way. We've got, I don't know if you can see in there, we've got 1 there, we've got 1 there, we've got 1 back here, little tiny guy there. We've got them over in there, you can see them there. There's another one there. And these will continue to grow. So I'll show you all of that. But these plants will put off a ton of zucchini. And it's hard for us. We freeze some and we have freeze dried some. Now, the freeze drying method on zucchini, some people I'm sure have got that down to a science. For us, it was more like the best way to eat it was like potato chips. So, reconstituting it, I guess you could use it in a stew, but it's real slimy. It doesn't reconstitute well. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me it does. If you do know how to reconstitute it back to, good crunchy zucchini, let me know. We just hadn't had no luck with it freeze drying it. So, but we grow enough that, we have enjoyed it all summer long. So it does help. But I just thought I'd bring you guys along. And like I say, especially wanted to show you that potato plant. Didn't expect that to do as well as it has, but it has took off, and we'll see if there's any potatoes. I doubt it, but we're going to check it and see. Not 100% sure, but everything else is coming along. But I did want to tell you about how to phase your garden. If you have I'm in zone 8, so if you have the ability to do that, start it in stages, and that way you have stuff growing all year instead of just your plants grow and then produce and then it's over with. That's why we do a lot of starts, or she does, and that way, I mean, you can look down there, all the yellow on that plant, the cucumber plants. Every flower you see is going to be a cucumber. So if you're not into pickling or preserving cucumbers, you probably don't want to plant more than maybe 2 plants. If you just 1 or 2 in a household, again, that's another item that we've tried to freeze dry. It doesn't really work out that great. Cabbage, we're going to freeze dry. It works out good. Holds its form, comes back great in stews and soups. Tomatoes, we're going to be doing a lot of canning videos, a lot of freeze drying videos. This time of year for us is really busy. I suggest if you're out there and you're trying to look after yourself more, be more self-sustainable, get out there, try it. You don't have to have a huge garden like this, or you can have one bigger, but get out there and try. That's the biggest thing. Learning to be self-sufficient, it's really gratifying to know that you can do this and not be dependent on grocery stores, supply chains, the government, things like that. Learn to can, freeze dry if you can afford a freeze dryer. If not, and you want to get into that, save up. Don't do it all at one time. Just do what you can. Another thing I like is the lettuce. This lettuce plant, these 2 right here, we have gotten enough salad off of them, and they just keep coming right back. It just regrows constantly. And you can't freeze dry it, can't can it really, but yeah, it comes back. We've been having salads about every night, and she comes out, clips it, give it about 3 or 4 more days, and it'll be back again. So anyway, guys, don't forget to sign up for the Jace Case giveaway. All you gotta do, don't cost you a dime. All you gotta do is come to the channel, subscribe, type TAD10 in the comment section below, and you will be registered to win that $270 value Jace Case emergency antibiotics. I think everybody should have it. I love it. I'm glad we have it. It's a good peace of mind. So anyway, guys, I just want to bring you by and show you what has been going on in the garden and how to stage your garden if you're interested in that kind of thing. And hopefully you're out there prepping, you're getting your stuff done. It's going to be a crazy year, guys. All right, I do appreciate you watching. Until next time, I'm Tad. We will talk about it. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.